Regarding the moon landing and space, NASA has confirmed in previous videos in the past that no human being, no man, has ever been beyond low Earth orbit. Like, low Earth orbit is the ceiling. Except supposedly for these 12 guys, astronauts, who blasted away 240,000 miles, which is 386,000 kilometers, to the moon and back in 1969, 6 times, using a computer weaker than the chip in your toaster, or the chip in a Game Boy console, or the chip in a very basic chip. In 1969, when color TV was still something rare in any house, civilized house, and microwaves didn't even exist in households. So you fast forward 50 years or 60 years almost, and your phone today has more raw power than every computer on Earth back then in 1969. Every computer on Earth combined in 1969. So your phone is more powerful. Now, we have like reusable rockets landing themselves like it's nothing, like no man, without any manpower. And NASA's excuse for never going back to the moon today, after 50 years, after almost 60 years, is that we lost the technology. Don Petit said in a video, which is an astronaut, apparently it was destroyed. The technology that was used to go to the moon was destroyed, but they don't want to tell us how it was destroyed, when, and why. They just say, oh, it was destroyed. Okay, good. For decades, lots of researchers begged NASA, let us study the original Apollo 11 telemetry tapes, because everything was registered on telemetry tapes. The first answer NASA gave during years was, oops, we lost the tapes. We lost the tapes, they're gone, we have no clue where they are, that we stored them and they disappeared. Good. Then the story changed, because that story, the first story about losing the tapes, was not good anymore. And then the next story was, we erased them and reused the tapes to save a few bucks during budget cuts. NASA said we didn't have enough money, so we used the moon landing tapes, we reused them because we didn't have money to buy new tapes. The only existing video of mankind's greatest achievement recorded ever with routine satellite data, because the agency was a little short on cash, and that's the excuse. Now that was the official line. Apparently afterwards they said that they found the original tapes in a garden shed in Las Vegas. And then that was another story. And then there was like this press conference where Michael Collins, one of the astronauts, he said in the press conference that he was not able to see any stars. That's what he said. I didn't recall seeing any stars. Then the same Michael Collins in 1994, he published a book where he said in the book how breathtaking the stars looked from the lunar surface. Brilliant, endless, sharper than anything he'd ever seen. So what changed? You say you gave an interview, you gave a press conference, you said, oh, I didn't remember seeing any stars. And then in 1994, you say, oh, the stars were so amazing. Great. Let's keep moving. What can we say about the actual footage? For example, we listened to the exact words of Russian President Vladimir Putin, who said it specifically in Russian about what the moon landing was. I'm not going to say it here because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but yeah. So when you see the footage about the rovers and the landing devices and the machinery and the vehicles and everything else, you kind of like you have questions, right? But then I'm just gonna quote President Vladimir Putin from Russia regarding his confirmation or his response about the Apollo missions. Quote, "It was the greatest spectacle of the 20th century. America needed bread in circuses while her boys died in Vietnamese jungles. So they gave the world a circus on the moon, pure Hollywood. The people cheered, the ratings soared, and nobody asked why the emperor was naked." These were the words of President Putin from Russia. And there's a Russian investigation which fed the original 1969 footage of the moon into Google's latest AI forensic suit. And the result of the AI stamped it as fake, synthetic imagery, composite frames, digital trickery. That was the response of the AI from Google. The reaction of Putin was on camera. He just gave like a cold half smile, like, like whatever, I knew this for 50 years, so it's no big deal. Now, let's speak about, for example, how many times they spoke about the radiation, right? And they said, oh, the Van Allen radiation belt, it's between the Earth and the Moon, so it's impossible to go there with our vehicles unless we have a proper shielding for that radiation to not affect the astronauts and the people who are in the vehicles, right? And then, of course, while we spin in space at full maximum speed, amazing speeds, and we have to get there while the Moon and the Earth are spinning. Now, there's so many photos I can show you and pictures and stuff, but I just wanted to make my point regarding why in Russia they speak about this openly, and they even fed the original footage to Google's latest AI, and the AI said, oh, it's just synthetic composite digital imagery. That's it. And when you have these astronauts who they say specific things and then they change their story, and especially when they say the things like, oh, we lost the tapes, oh, then we just use the tapes to do something else with them, so we didn't have enough money to buy new tapes, so we used the moon landing tapes to record something else. Like, the biggest event in human history, you just don't just reuse it to record something else. You just store it there forever. You actually make it like a national monument, like an international monument, because it's the greatest achievement of humanity. It has to be like, it should be like in like the best museum in the world, right? For everybody to look and to see. But I just wanted to make this short video to add these details. And if you like it, I can keep on showing you more photos and more pictures, which is just like asking questions. Like, asking questions is not something bad, is it, right? We just ask logical questions that any human being can ask if you just think a bit, right? And we just need answers. We just ask questions because we are humans, we're people, and we would like to have answers. Unfortunately, the answers never come. So that's it.